What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I got to re-record actually this intro. So gonna make it short and sweet. This is the Friday market watch. Gonna talk about a card that I've been very much speculating for a while that's gonna go up. So if you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. Without further ado, let's get into the card. Alright, okay, so before we get into, like some of the other stuff I want to talk about, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things here. Therion King Regulus, I kind of noticed that there's some versions of super heavy samurai that I'm seeing certain combos, like there's a lot of different combos, a lot of different kind of variants, but I am seeing some type of like synergy with Therion King Regulus to where you're able to like do the combo and eventually get it out. I believe, depending on how your deck is built, it is searchable. So yeah, this is a card that I actually wanted to get a long time ago when it was around the 40 range to try and ABC deck, but I ended up just not even going in that route. But right now it looks like they would have been good buys at 40. So we're looking at right here $57, $57.99. So we're looking at probably in like the 58 to 50 to 60 range. That kind of like depends, because like there's some that are 58 right here, as you can see, and then there's some right here that are 58, some that are already kind of creeping 59, and that's already going into the 60 range, 59.75. So like most likely people are going to be getting rid of these at 60. This card, honestly, for the fact that it literally just has two printings. It technically has one printing, but it has its secret printing, and then it has a starlight printing. So this is, and also I don't think you need that many. I don't think you really run this at 3. You probably only run maybe 1, maybe 2 of these. So I really could see people kind of starting to pick this up, because it's just like one starlight you need. The starlight has just been going just completely, I wouldn't say insane, but it's just completely been going up. But it hasn't been going up that steep, as you can see right here at 147. This is around the time where I got mine, and now we're looking over here, we're getting into the $200 range. So it's like I said, it's gonna depend on how much super heavy samurai is going to use Regulus. But if this becomes like very good kind of like staple card that you want to use, especially if you're gonna want to play around the multiple hand traps that might be in the format, this might actually be the go-to. So maybe if you still have faith that this could be a 400, maybe this would be a good buy. But if you're just trying to pick it up to use it, get it now before it goes up. If this is like a potential card you were thinking of investing in, I would just like hold off on that. Nigeria Exterio. So Nigeria Exterio has been going down. Like originally I could have sworn that this card was just hard to get, and just just completely like I went to my locals, went to Frank's, and didn't find any this and that. And now it looks like they're starting to calm down. I did see some extra ones. A lot of like damage and like light plate versions have been put on the market. So you got a whole bunch of them right here at like $14.93, 50, like 15, 16 bucks. So you can get these light play at like $16. I'm pretty sure if you want like a mint condition one, those are probably still in the 40s. But for the most part, this has come down just because there's a lot of speculation with the ban list, where people believe that Exterio is gonna, well, I shouldn't say Exterio, but where they might have to ban Cyberstein again, and that way they would just completely cut off the whole like getting stuff from the extra deck plays from Super Heavy Samurai. Speaking of Super Heavy Samurai, I understand that it's the pre-sale. There's some times where I talk about cards being high, and people mention in the comments that it's the pre-sale, and I'm like, oh no, I mean talk about card prices dropping. And then people mention that, oh, it's the pre-sale. I'm very much aware of the pre-sale. But this is very interesting right here. I actually thought this was going to happen with Sprite Jet. So when the Power of the Element sneak peek hit, I was asking for Sprite Jet, and I felt like I had to wait like an hour worth of people had to come in before I could get my entire set, because I also had a friend who was getting it. So like like out of my boxes, I got one, he got one, and then I believe my other friend I came with got one. But then so I went around to try to get my other two, and I ended up like having to ask a bunch of people, no, they don't got it, no, they don't got it, they're keeping it. So like I kind of like, oh man, is it really short print like that? But no, it really when it ended up getting printed, it wasn't short print at all. But that might not be the case with the Super Heavy Samurai Prodigy right here, because originally it was like going for $8. Now it just now it's kind of dropped down, and it's kind of going closer to like the like the $5 to $6 range. And like to be honest, like you really shouldn't be buying any of these cards right here in the pre-sale time. You should very much wait for the set to drop. But if this card, if the deck is that good and it's really like tier 1, you know, wombo combo, or it's like, you know, or you know, I don't want to say tier 0, but if it's like the best tier 1 option, and this card is short printed, and there's, you know, a lot of people are trying to get this card, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like a $2, maybe even like $3 like super. I don't know about holding this $5, this close to $5 price point, but I could see this being a $2 to $3 like super. That is very much possible. Dark Blue No More. This right here is something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. I actually in the video that I'm gonna drop later, I talk about Dark Blue No More, and like like I said, I don't want to make a whole bunch of calls. I'm not gonna sit there and claim that I'm like the best guru or anything, you know. But like, you know, like sometimes, you know, it takes a while for cards to kind of like develop. And I'm looking at Dark Blue No More, and like I understand against, you know, this horrible thing right here, this amalgamation. I guess maybe it wouldn't be you know, the most effective, but against everything else, maybe Dark Blue No More would be really good, especially with a lot of like combo decks being out, to where you could like use Dark Blue No More, take everything out, and then you could put up your combo and then start, you know, like maybe, you know, start using effects to pick things off, and that way like you know, that way it's like you pretty much force your opponent to have to re-combo through your combo after they've already used resource, and maybe you have a couple hand traps. So I really do feel like the Dark Blue No More could be a very interesting card from the meta. There is to be considered as like really good for the next format. There is a lot of budget and like kind of like common versions, so I don't see this card being really too expensive. Like maybe I'm thinking like some of these structure deck versions could be like, you know, $2, maybe $3, depending on, you know, if you're running 3 in the main. But I could really see them kind of sticking around the $1 to $2 price point. Looks like this one's kind of holding at $139 as the Albaz one, and kind of similar thing right here. The common from the Spirit Charmer structure deck is holding around $194, $195. So we're looking at around the $160 to $2 price point. And then you got the ultra rare from the 10. This like I said, this is another. There was a lot of these. Like I remember getting a lot of these, so like it isn't like these are the hardest cards to find right now. So I guess I mean, like I said, if it's very popular, you never know how these cards are gonna move. That's a whole different story. But right now you get them for $216. The $216 with $1 shipping, and then $147. So we're looking at about $2 to $3. This one right here is, yeah, like $248. So yeah, so we're looking at about the $2 to $3 mark for this card. But I guess like the more interesting one would be the Prismatic Rare. The Prismatic Rare is the one that I would honestly want to go for. I've had my same ones for a long time. I've never gotten rid of this card because I've always known it's gonna come back in the, you know, main deck or the side deck. It's always one of those cards that are just gonna, you know, depending on the format, kind of like Droll and Lockbird, to where if you're really much depending on the format and if it's gonna be good or not. But right here you get light play, you know, the light plays for like, you know, $6.59, and then right here they go up to $6.94, and then right here $6.96 basically. So we're looking at about like these are about $7. Maybe you get a playset for $20 if you want the highest rarity. So we got Gamma. This right here is another card that I very much feel strongly about for the next format. There's a lot of people that are already talking about Gamma. I originally tried to use it in my in Sprite, but it wasn't like I guess like I mean on my Sprite in my Runic deck, but I guess it wasn't as impactful as I wanted it to be, because like they were mainly really trying to stop the fountain, and usually by the time I had the fountain on, I had a monster. But kind of going to the next format, I really feel that people might kind of want to start focusing on taking on like especially if fountain gets hit, then it's going to be easier for people to interact with like the Runic quick play spells, specifically the effects that special summon from the extra deck. So I really do see that like Cypher Gear Gamma could be a good tech, not only in that deck, but the fact that we might go into a really heavy hand trap meta, to where you might want to set up your deck in a way to where you gain a whole bunch, you could just do a whole bunch of stuff with just, you know, magic and spell cards to kind of bait out these different hand traps, and then you could use Gamma to kind of gain that advantage and get, you know, and do what you're gonna do from it from there, depending on how you're gonna use Gamma. Some people use it to link, some people use it for the synchro. I like using it to synchro and take the card out of the hand. So like I said, I would not be surprised if we start seeing a lot of Gamma being played. And you know, like judging on the price of Gamma right now, other people kind of feel the same. We're looking at like like 28 on the chart right here. What do you got here? Moderately played first dead 24, mod play 25, near mint first dead $50. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. $50 for the original high speed. Man, this makes me want to go look for some rares and just sell my ultras that I have. Oh man, I'm so tempted to do that. Like if there's actual sales at this price, and mine are actually, you know, looking pretty good. Oh wow, that's actually really enticing. That is crazy, very enticing. What's cool though is this does have budget versions, but these are same as Droll and Lockbirds. Like, I knew these were gonna be hits. I say this all the time. I pick these up when they're like 50 cents. Had a big old stack, and these have like always went between $3 and $5, and they are back in the $6 range. We got some here at $4.96 with $1 shipping, but then we got some mod plays for $6. Near mint first says for $6. These cards are back in the above $5 range, and to be honest, like, this is a card where like you should never be without certain cards, and Gamma's one of them. Especially when it got reprinted as a rare, you should have got your rares and just got them together and just called it a freaking day. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. If you need them, you're gonna be paying $6 for the rares. Kind of similar price with these gold rares and the super rares from the Extreme Force special editions. These right here, we got near mints for 12s. Italians, okay, so we got $12.95, $12.97. So we're looking at about $13 for the super rare. I would get it sooner rather than later, because I really feel like these are going to be somewhat staple in that. Depending on your build and the meta, these are going to be staple. Droll and Lockbird. I told y'all, get your copies of Droll and Lockbird. Don't be caught without Droll and Lockbird. Make sure you have Droll and Lockbird. I'm going straight to the version that I want to talk about, and that is the one from Tactical Masters. We got a bunch of near mint first dead, someone trying to troll with 0 sales right here, but the second this guy is gone, we got 355, 356, 357. There's a lot of them, but I really feel like this is, I don't know, I guess like I finally feel justified for telling people, like, hey, you know, make sure you have these, because if you didn't have your 3 and you're thinking, how come I have to pay $3 for a rare or $3 for a common, because we're looking at $3 for this rare. I'm looking at budget versions right now. It's kind of similar with this common version right here. We got heavily played first ed, $4.98. That's a little oddball right here. Then we got a $368 with the $2 shipping. So while look, even the commons are kind of going into like kind of $5 kind of range. These look like they're all over the place and honest, but look, but these are looking like these commons are trying to go into like the $5 range, to be honest. And I don't know what to say, but you should have had your copies if you don't have them. At the same time, if you know you open a lot of Tactical Masters and you feel like you have a lot of these in your bulk, I would go and just pick them out. You know, like, because like there's essentially no more budget versions anymore. These right here are all like 3, 4, and four. What am I talking about? These are like in the $4 range. These are like in the $3 range, and we're not even gonna really touch too much on these. You got the gold rares right here. They're going for about $11, which you know, like, not a lot of people like this, but it's the ultra art, the ultra rare from the Kaiba collection. That's actually really, really good. These right here are, so you got 1401, 20, oh wow, $24 after this one is gone. That is just crazy. These cards are just going wild. So we're looking at, we got $15 right here. Once that one's gone, they are $24. That is freaking insane. Like, maybe I'm reading these charts wrong. The super rare, let's just go ahead and look at that super rare. All these cards are just completely going up. We got mod play 15, damage 16, light play 13.90. It's about $14. So those ultra rares are just crazy. And the last card I want to talk about is Firewall Dragon Dart Fluid. I spent a long time talking about those last couple cards, but just real quick, I have no idea why this card's really going up. I read it, and you know, it negates things in the battle phase, and I also see, you know, it could get to 5,000. It's really cool. I have no idea why this card's going up. Maybe because it's just like really hard to find. It also came out of Amazing Memories, so shout out to Amazing Memories right now. They're just Amazing Memories stock's going up right now. But it looks like right here, these things are like 650, 670. Like I have no idea why they're even, you know, this much money in the first place. Maybe because maybe it's the Firewall name and the Firewall deck. I have no idea. But if you guys know why this card's going up, please let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.